Why don't we start by having you to set the scene for us a little bit and talk about your characters and what they're facing in the season we're about to see.
Milo is already in Kingstown in one of the prisons serving a life sentence, I believe. And he is somewhat my boss. And he orders me to come to Kingstown and work my magic on some men there to get what he wants. Milo's a very powerful man and has people all over who he kind of controls and gets them to do his dirty work for him. So I'm one of those people, and I come into Kingstown and it goes from there.
For my parts, well, Emma's just kind of described it, but definitely control is something that Milo exercises. And he's quite a clinical, precise individual, good at what he does, but, you know, a really not very, very nice person. And the stuff that the people within his power or his web or whatever, or influence, are enduring. You know, for example, Iris, Emma's character, you know, it's just really not pleasant at all.
Really not.
And also, I suppose, within the main framework of the story and the McCluskeys and Jeremy's character, you know, there's some unspoken thing or unspecified within, you know, the first 4 or 5 or 6 episodes as to what exactly that hold I have over him is, or why he would do my bidding. And, you know, things are held back. A lot of things are held back here, which is what's good about the script and Taylor's writing. Everything's not over explained.
Yeah, no, it's a very big and star-studded cast. Talk a little bit about, you know, a moment that, you know, maybe 10 years from now, you'll look back on this experience of shooting this season. What's one moment for each of you that you'll remember working with this incredible cast?
I think it was just the loving nature of everyone for me. And you know, I didn't really realize how hard it would be for me before certain scenes. You know, it gets really dark for Iris, and I was like, oh, it's fine. Like I act and then I go home, you know. And I had Diane Weiss coming up to me and being like, how are you gonna cope? And I was really scared to meet her because it's Diane. And she was like, Emma, darling, my family's from Scotland. She was so loving, and she was really she was very motherly and protective, and was really trying to make sure that I was gonna be okay. And she gave me a lot of really good advice. And she was like, you know, you just gotta wipe your feet before a scene and wipe your feet after a scene, and little one-liners like that. But I actually don't have one specific moment. I think it was just the entire thing that I'll not look back on in 10 years. I'll look back on it like every day and I'm like, what the fuck? How did I do that?
I think for me, it was probably just skiving off somewhere, which I tend to do, you know, on one of the first or second days I was there within this, you know, massive Victorian era penitentiary, you know, in Kingstown, because it's nice to just go off and think about what you're doing and not to have to be too chatty or, you know, spend your energy in the wrong way.
I came,
you know, kind of, you know.
Oh, Aidan, it's Emma. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't thinking of that, but that's where that happened too. But which is always great. But yeah, you know, it's kind of evening, orange sky, sitting there. It felt, because it was the real thing, it's the real thing, so it feels like the real thing. And for me, that was it. I really got the feeling of what it's like to be beside those walls, especially those old school ones, because they're so thick and so high, and you just feel like you're never getting out of here. I wasn't there too much this year. This character's really been introduced, you know, slowly. So that's it.